Speaketh with Otto. Is there anything that we can do before? Yeah, there's many a thing actually that requires doing. It's possible that we might need to have a little bit of a side questy section. None of them are like going to unlock features, but right. Oh, we've got many a thing. Right, we've got the Flan Prince. Souls. Oh God, bees. Interesting that they're called Vilekin in this. I think that's the first time we've seen the kind of FF14 related nomenclature being used. Grimalkin? Just off the sickle, the road leads from Dalamil to the Jaw, lies a dead-end canyon. The Cattery. Is that a curl? No, it's not. It's something else. The Nine of Knives. The Breaker of Worlds. Fallen Giant. Location? Oh, S rank. And location, who knows? Huh. Okay. So. Paper. I have. Pen.
A few moments later.
Desiree. You got new stuff?
How may I help you today, Clive? Is everything we've received and everything promised?
Not long ago, I was accosted by footpads as I walked the Gilded Path, and would have perished alone in the desert had not the curse breakers come to my aid. I owe them my life. May this token serve them well.
All yours.
Direwolf Jess. And we need 350 to get
Come
some
again.
more.
I may have more for you.
Gort also has some side quests.
Clive. Quick look.
Yes, those are the ones in the
Always
Demajen
something
Republic.
in there.
Okay, let's see what is going on with Otto. It'll tell us, usually, if we can't do the side quest.
You're back. I am. And with glad tidings for once. Hugo Kupka is no more.
He is.
Well, I'll be.
He did.
All of our comrades who lost their lives back at Sid's place be smiling down at you right now.
We had
Revenge.
stories from Lubor saying Drake's fang had fallen.
Literally.
I expect that was your doing as well, was it?
Yeah, it kind of fell over on the way.
It's a long story.
One for this.
It was a long fight.
Welcome home, Clive.
Hello, you.
It's good to be back. You look better.
I feel it.
She's got a little blue thing hanging on her
Little adventure. You're not leaving me behind
belt,
again.
which I don't think she had before, did she?
Otto. Any word on the royalist movements since I've been away? Shouldn't you be putting your feet up? If you really want to know.
But I've just spoken to her.
With Vivian.
She didn't tell me anything.
Thank you. I will.
She could have told me whilst I was there, but she did not. Still no new things. We tend to have to progress the main scenario a little bit when we get back to the hideout before new smithing stuff happens.
Ah, the conquering hero.
I spoke
returns.
to you like 30 seconds
And with
ago.
hardly a scratch on him.
I may have picked up one or two.
Well, the fact that you came straight to me instead of visiting our resident physiker suggests that you picked up something more important. A scent.
Mhm.
The scent of Waludas.
They elude me.
But whatever plans Kupka was hatching with the royalists, he took them to his grave.
Oh yeah, he was working with them,
Nursed
wasn't
his
he?
men,
Idiots.
slaughtered by the orcs who'd taken over the Fang. Orcs, Vivian. I've never seen such creatures in Storm before.
Yes.
The Waludas must have ferried them over from Ash, but why?
Cause havoc.
Why work to rescue Kupka only to invade his home, the mother crystal of an allied nation, and let both fall? It makes no sense.
All part
Do you
of
know
the
the
plan.
tale of the blind men and the adamantus?
No.
One can often be led astray by focusing too closely on individual details. One must instead see the bigger picture. And what bigger picture is there than my map?
How is this related to the blind man and the adamantoise? I was hoping she'd go into a bit more detail there. The map. We've got
The
2 mother
kingdom
crystals
of
left.
Waloed claims dominion over all of Ash.
Mm-hmm.
It is a nation forged by the bloody conquest of Barnabas Tharm, the dominant of Odin.
Tharm, not
The
the
Canberrian War
final
of
R is
Independence
silent.
in 849. The Battle of the Twin Realms in 865. The Battle of Belinus Tor in 873.
Which was 5
Wheresoever
years
his armies fought, Odin was found where the fighting was fiercest.
Mm-hmm.
But of late, the warrior king appears to have laid his sword to rest. Battle rages for control of the crystalline dominion. Yet Tharm sends not a
He's
single
willing to let
ship
them
in
weaken
support
each
of
other.
his Dalmekian allies. Meanwhile, the Blight ravages great swathes of Ash. Yet warlike Waloed shows not the faintest interest in laying claim to untouched lands. So why go to the trouble of sending an army of orcs into the heart of Drake's Fang?
Is it blighted land that
Only to make
Ultima is
no
trying to
attempt to claim
create?
the mother
A
crystal
world
for
that he and
Waloed?
his kind can
It can
occupy.
hardly be for lack of men. Tharm's armies rival any in the Twins. No. We have not seen the last of the Waloed standard.
More
Odin
political
will
intrigue.
ride again.
I like it. Not going to be
It is
for
but a
everybody.
question of when.
You know, some people are going
And
to
on that
play this
day,
and say, I don't like the action combat
will
because
be
it's not
trampled
turn-based, or I don't like the
underfoot?
political stuff. Though Final Fantasy has often been political.
In summary, I know not to what end the royalists betrayed Kupka. I know
I suppose
only
this is
that
more
it is part of
traditional
some broader
politics.
scheme. A scheme tied to the ambitions of one man.
King Barnabas.
But there is no need to wallow in confusion. If one is to cure a sickness, one must first identify the
Oh
symptoms.
no.
And your Lord Uncle has volunteered to do just that by keeping an eye on the royalists' movements.
He's really throwing himself into this.
Indeed he is. Which means all that remains for us to do is await his reports.
I'm still not sure I trust Byron,
Well,
though.
not
It was
quite
Byron, wasn't it?
all in your case.
Uncle Byron?
The people of the Hideaway must hear the news. Justice has been done. Hugo Kupka is dead. The wounds he left that
He
night
did.
are still raw. Especially for those who lived with Sid the longest. Tell them that those wounds
Yep.
might finally begin
A little
to heal.
tour of the hideaway then, I
Consider it
guess.
the price of today's instruction.
I've never known you to be sentimental.
What can I say? I am only human. And we are, all of us,
A human being wouldn't say
sentimental
that.
animals at heart.
I suppose we are. Very well. I'll go and spread the word.
Right. New available items are now Karen's told. Yes. I understand. Blackthorn.
Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
What is it? I'm busy.
I wanted to tell you that Hugo Kupka is dead.
I can't tell you how long I've been waiting to hear those words.
Yeah, animation on the face is a little bit off there, unfortunately.
A new beginning under a new Sid.
We've been going for a while now, but yes.
I'll try to live up to the name.
Random limping man. New things. Use the forge.
So, will it be?
Enhancer. That's a small amount of... I can't imagine these are going to be... Yeah, we still haven't made those. We need to go and do that flan hunt, I suspect, Karen.
Well, someone looks pleased with himself.
She's so lovely.
See what I'm hearing then.
It's no wonder Goots is absolutely terrified of her.
It's true. Kuka is dead.
Coop cake.
No more looking over our shoulders.
Well,
then.
I mean, somebody else could want to find you.
I'm starting to get a crick in my neck.
I know that feeling.
Don't let it go to your head, though.
Cricky. Do you have new things
Don't
to
just
sell?
stand there gawping.
Gulpin. Right, we could buy an enhancer. Interesting. Enhancer is more attack but less stagger damage, but probably won't be
You're rubbing me blind, you know.
when we upgrade it. Challenge Whispers, Crimson Assassins, Lux Gambit. These are the same. We can buy most things. A couple of orchestrion rolls. No new types of potions. Let's go see. What do we need to upgrade this?
Back, are ya?
I am. Use the forge.
So it would
Reinforce. Yeah, so that takes it to equal to what that thing was before. And also, that is...
Yeah, that should do you.
Diamond sword +2, +1. When did that appear? That's what we're using. But Diamond sword +1 is just better. But we can't make...
That it? Fine.
Did... Karen didn't sell it, did it? Did she?
Is it business or pleasure? If you're going to buy something, be quick about it.
No. Huh. Oh, hold on. Diamond as in... Diamond dust as in Shiva. No, because they've not been upgradable.
Is that all?
Huh. That's got to be something else. Unless we do get an upgradable sword from whatever's going to happen to Jill. And the question is actually, where do we go next? We could go after Bahamut. But because we need to go and... We need to go to the Dominion, don't we?
Ah,
Holmes.
Clive, have you come seeking the gift of knowledge?
No, we've come to give you knowledge.
To share mine, actually. Hugo Kupka is dead.
Oh my. Can it really be true?
Is he always looking at the same pages?
He is.
You kids are
Big
horrible.
baby.
Go eat your lemon tart, you.
With good reason, children. These are tears of joy. We must offer up a prayer to your parents that the heavens might weep with us. There shall be no lessons today, only thanksgiving and merrymaking. Go, put away your things.
All right.
All right.
Brilliant.
Who are... Hold on. Whose kids are these? Parents were both bearers. Ah, they lost their parents in the attack.
Finally, a new
So
dawn
not
has
like the
broken.
kids of anyone important. Well, I mean, everybody's important, but you know what I mean.
Thank you, Clive. I can't
Not a named
wait
character.
To share the good news.
Hippocrates. After Kuka fell, Ultima came to me. I need to know what he is. Have you learned anything?
Alas, no. And not for want of trying. I have scoured nigh every historical
So we need to go and
tome in our
find more
collection
books.
And found nothing. Not even the sort of conspicuous absence that might suggest a concealment of fact. One is almost tempted to conclude that such a creature never existed.
But I saw him. with my own eyes.
I don't doubt that you did. Alas, it seems you are the only one who has. To others, he reveals naught. We see only that which he leaves in his wake, like some terrible force of nature beyond the ken of mortal man.
A bringer of death.
Whether the Ultima you met with was the being itself, or merely another projection of its power, I know not. But until I do, my investigation.
Yes, the fact that it was locked away and that Typhon was also locked away. Or maybe that's just what we've been led to believe. Maybe Typhon was locked away, but Ultima has never been. I am intrigued. And I like being intrigued. I like not being able to predict where the story's going. I mean, I still have a fairly strong suspicion that Jill is going to die and that Clive will probably end up sacrificing himself at the end as well because this is tragedy. But I'm not 100% certain on that. It could be that Clive dies, quote unquote, and that Jill survives, tearful and sorrowful. Could be that they do a Commander Shepard on us and leave the ending somewhat ambiguous. Yeah.
You barely
Who knows?
since you came home. Vivian got you running errands or something?
Yes.
Spreading the word.
Also, do we have a city emote?
So, the professor's got a soft side, has she? I'd never have guessed. No. She was right, though. Everyone was glad to hear the news.
Yep. It was much mirth and merriment.
You ain't told everyone. I can think of plenty of friends back at the old Hideaway who'd sleep more peacefully for knowing.
Yeah.
Not least of all Sid. You should tell him. You're right. I should. And I will.
We need to go and tell his
When you
daughter.
do, be sure to take Mid with you. She's been going at it hammer and tongs down in that workshop of hers, trying to do her father proud.
Where have
I
they
can't
buried
remember
him?
the last time she visited the old sod's grave. Very well. I'll suggest it.
A new quest is available in the Alliance reports. Where?
Fancy a look at the list, do you?
Sure.
Quick look.
For great justice. Use your loaf. That's a great name.
Seen enough?
Yes, I'm going to do all of these in one chunk. How did I get down here? It was up here and over the top, wasn't it? Because I don't want to leave it too late to do these side quests, obviously. But likewise, I also do not want to interrupt the flow of the game too much. Hello, you.
I don't come up with something soon. All right, Clive?
Hello.
What do you want?
What do you want?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come with me.
Sorry, I'm too busy for all that right now. I've got to get this thermal displacement stack sorted.
Oh, that.
Thermal...
Displacement stack. Here.
And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen. The Enterprise.
Of course. Well.
Me and my dad designed it together.
Oh.
Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines.
But what powers it?
And
Because
those
if it's
things have got more punch
crystals,
than a behemoth in a bad mood.
we might not
And
have
more
those
heat
for
than
very
all the
much
hells
longer.
put together. Which is where the stack comes in. I may have already talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard.
You need some help.
I'll come and see my dad, though, when I'm done. Whenever that is.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I love that slightly resigned sigh.
I were hoping you'd say that.
Yeah, of course you were,
First
yes.
things first, I need some parts mecking.
Mecking.
The stack will be made up of 3 major components. There's the plating, here, that channels hot vapors away from the engine. The helm over the top, that disperses all that heat into the air. And the shielding around the sides. That stops the rest of the ship from going up in flames.
That's a good plan. I like that.
A full suit of armor, then. Probably best to take it one piece at a time.
Then you'll need to start with the plating. Everything else fits onto it. I've got the designs and the list of materials here.
Okay.
Show these to Blackthorn. He'll know what to do.
Okay. So we're going to have a chain of pseudo main scenario side quest things.
Luckily, you don't need to.
I'm just a delivery boy. Blackthorn.
Blackthorn. Can I ask a favor?
Out with it.
It's for mid.
It's for mid.
This my last chance to say I'm otherwise engaged. Spare myself the arseache.
Yeah.
Go on then. What is it this time?
She said you would know. Here.
Instructions on how to go about building oneself a full set of thermal plating to dissipate heat from around a mythical engine. Should one find oneself in need of such a thing?
Krieger's Tates.
You can't say that. She's a goddess.
I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but I can make it. Won't be easy though. And I'll need help. Get Gavanotto in here, will you?
All right.
Do we have to go and talk to them, or can we fade to black and get them in? We can get... Yes. Wonderful.
So Mid's roped us all in here again, has she? Typical. Still, if that's what it takes to get her to visit Sid's grave, I'll do what I can.
Priorities, yeah.
And, what is it we need to do, exactly?
Take a look at this.
It's an anvil. Oh,
It's
this.
plating. The usual sword grade steel won't work. We need something that can get very hot, very
Mithril.
fast, and still keep its shape. That means an alloy.
Oh, is
Something
this
that
how
won't
we're going to
break or
get to
buckle at
Ash?
The temperatures she's talking about.
That'd make
Which is
sense,
where
wouldn't
you lot
it?
come in. I need materials, and I've got my work.
Because we don't
cut out
actually
already.
have a world
We'll have
map to
perfection.
explore.
Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the Velcroy. Stardust, they call it.
Velcroy.
As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying and bringing back here.
Well, we'll get it done quicker if we split up.
We're going to go and find the
One of us
sand.
should probably give you an hand coat in the sand.
And the other can go and get the rest from this supplier.
Right then.
Well, make your minds up who's going where, we can get this over with.
Letting off steam 1. Okay. Speak with Blackthorn.
You going after the Stardust then, are you?
Yeah.
Which one of these two lucky souls is
Do
going
we get to
with you?
choose? Gav.
Gav, you're with me.
All right, then.
All right, then. He's Geordie.
So, where do we find this Stardust stuff?
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the Velcroy. It's the black sand
Keep
that
thinking
washes
of
up those
Velcro.
plains that you're after.
Southern reaches of the Velcroy, eh? That's down past Dalamil. I'll go and scout the place out. See about hiring us a wagon to bring the stuff back
So,
to.
I guess this quest
Right.
would change depending on who we chose here.
While you're off having a paddle, I'll pick up the rest of the stuff from Blackthorn's supplier. Take care.
You two, eh? Don't go letting them fleece ya.
Fleece me. I like to see him try.
Uh-huh.
In your own time.
The Surly Smith. A classic trope of the genre. Right. Before we make for the river in the south of the Velcroy, we've got a half dozen side quests to do. At this particular point, I did 2+ hours of very good and very interesting side quests, several hunts, and then got stuck not being able to play for 3 days. So we're going to pick up straight after all of that, continue on with the main quest, and I'm going to put all of the side quests together in one video so that if you want to watch the side quests, and I actually really recommend that you do because they were really good, really high quality, superb in some cases. You can watch that separately if you desire, whereas if you're just interested in watching my main story quest playthrough, you can carry on watching from here. It's a bit unfortunate how things panned out for me, and it's kind of unfortunate in a way that those side quests took so long to do, but it is what it is. Let's continue. It's time we continued on with the main quest. It's been several days since I've actually had opportunity to sit down and properly play this for various reasons. I had opportunity to play for like 10 minutes yesterday, where I was just testing whether the Facecam Pro was fixed, but nothing useful. Here's Gav. All right, Gav. How you doing, Gav?
Sorry to keep you, Gav.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this Stardust stuff as we can.
Uh-huh.
Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it, though. I asked over in Dalamil, and they seem to think it was worthless. But if Stardust is what Blackthorn wants, Stardust is what he'll get. There's plenty of the stuff lying about just begging to be bagged.
Then let's get bagging, shall we?
Let's get bagging.
Race, yeah?
Gav is such an odd character. I'm not entirely sure what they are going for with him. He's clearly very skilled, but he's also... Is he like a huge introvert? Is he just somebody who doesn't like physical contact? I'm not entirely sure what they're going for with him. And you know, that's not a critique, it's just an observation of he's an interesting character.
So this is Stardust. It just looks like Black Sand to me.
I've actually forgotten what we're doing this for. Oh, we're doing the engine thing, aren't we? For the Enterprise. That's what we're working on. As I said, it's been... I mean, what is it now? It's the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Although, by the time this goes out, it'll be far too late, but, you know, the sentiment's there. Oh, we need more. Yeah, I've been editing stuff. I've been trying to catch up with editing because one of the things about recording in 4K, which, you know, is probably fairly obvious to most people, is that 4K files occupy quite a lot of space. And whilst the drive that I save my footage on is quite a large 2 terabyte drive, it's a 2 terabyte SSD, it nevertheless can only hold so much. And I like to make sure that there's plenty of space on there. You know, 500 plus gig, preferably.
Let's see how Gav's getting on.
So I want to finish editing the earlier parts of this playthrough and get those off onto my backup drive. It's just my system. And I use the word system really loosely. Hi, Gav.
You finished? How much did you get?
5 piles.
Enough. I hope.
5 Stardust. Legend has it that a star once fell from the heavens and punctured a hole in the Demajen desert, whence sprang forth the fountainhead of the river Velcroy. I do wonder what caused the mother crystals.
Oh, you win. That might even be enough for old Blackthorn. Hey, before we go, do you mind if we have a chat?
Sure. What's on your mind? I'll come back to my thought about the mother crystals shortly. If I remember, which I probably won't, because you've watched enough of my playthroughs. And if you haven't, I forget things
Feels like
all the
ages
time.
since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man like.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
There was a lot to work out.
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain. Hardly ever see you around the Hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or other. You can take a day off, you know.
Is Gav
Says
feeling
the man who spends most
resentful?
of his time behind enemy lines.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise.
Huh.
So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. Safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you. Right. That's enough soppy shite for one day. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn before he slings his hammer at someone.
You go on ahead. And try to get some rest once you're there.
Oh, I plan to. Believe you me. After Blackthorn gets what he needs, of course.
Yeah, Gav is an odd character.
Ready to go home, boy?
I'm not quite sure what to make of him. Part of my brain thinks he's queer-coded. Part of me thinks he's just completely neurodivergent. He's an odd one. And I mean odd as in unusual. I don't mean like being either of those things is odd as in wrong. Just before somebody decides to type it down in the comments. Hopefully you know what I'm getting at. Because if they were writing Gav as gay, I don't think they'd shy away from it, because they haven't with Dion, have they? You know, Dion is very openly a gay character. Or at least we assume he's gay. He could be bi, I suppose. Not that one's sexual orientation should be the defining characteristic of your role in a story, which it clearly isn't with Dion. That's the fact that he's Bahamut. So, yes. Very, very difficult to get a bead on what I think they're going for with Gav. I mean, it could just simply be that Gav is an awkward guy who has little social skill and is better when out in the wild just poking his nose into other people's business. Otto looks a little bit
I got everything Blackthorn asked for. How'd it go over in Dalimil?
Went all right. Blackthorn. Blackthorn.
Blackthorn. Got everything you need?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Cheers for the Stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
Fabulous. That's the
We
first
should
bit.
go out on maneuvers together more often. You'll be sneaking around on your Todd all the time.
On your Todd? Now that's a very British phrase.
I'm putting this thermal plating together then.
Do you have that in America or elsewhere? Because I know it is majority Americans that watch my playthroughs. Or videos in general, actually.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
Does the phrase on your Todd mean anything to you? Quest complete. Letting off steam 1. Now, are we going to do letting off steam 2 straight away, or is that going to be later in the story?
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
Will do. Will do. I feel like they need more shadowing. Clive seems to have more shadowing, but they don't. Report back to Mid. Oh, Mid.
If I don't come up with something soon.
What's up? What's up, lass?
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course.
Okay, straight into
For
it.
this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Okay.
Salvage from the ruins. I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
All but.
But we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need.
That's handy.
What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's the name?
What's her name? Right.
Mid is great with people, clearly. What actually is her name? Helena.
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
It certainly is.
Yes. Mid said I should speak with you.
I'll show you the plans then. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force.
Interesting. One of the things that I have been saying is that should we, and I assume we will do, collapse all of the mother crystals, it will completely destroy the foundation of a society where everything relies on magic for heat, for light, for power, for running water, etc. Interesting then that mithril can be burned. Because generally speaking, when we think of mithril in games, in lore, in fiction of a fantastical nature, mithril is always a metal. And metals not noted for being burnable. Now, there's a treatise in Hippocrates' room about mithril, and I've glanced at it a couple of times, but I've never actually properly read it. And this idea that mithril is burnable makes me think I should go and have a proper look at that.
Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating.
Yes, it would explode.
The reactor would overheat and eventually
See, I understood the science, quote unquote.
It connects to the plating, you see.
So it's a giant heat sink.
Sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic.
It is ceramic.
They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect
ceramic
material
tends
for
to be
our
immune to
protective
rust, what with it not being
If
iron.
sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand.
Yes.
Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see,
this is where the hunt mark comes in.
Has taken up residence there.
The A rank?
It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
I see. Then I
yeah, because we saw a hunt mark in the on the board, and I suspected that I knew where it was. We found some fallen ruins
And head there right away.
ages ago.
We'll meet you outside the ruins.
Just on an offshoot. I said, it talked about it being some fallen ruins, but I've said, oh, we'll come back that later. And this is now the time, it seems. On the subject of the ceramics, when we first went into the Hall of the Ancestors on our way down to the Apothecary, I stopped and spoke a couple of times about the white architecture and how it reminded me very much of Mount Gulg in Final Fantasy XIV, if you can think back that far. The other thing that, of course, that it reminds me of is ceramite, the stuff from FF14's Imperial bits and pieces. But also, more than that, it reminds me of the stuff from Final Fantasy XI that the crags are made of. The giant white stone-like structures. I can't remember what it's called in FF11. In fact, it might be ceramite in that as well. But yeah, really kind of advanced ceramics are an interesting thing in Final Fantasy games. This isn't the first time that they've been used. Let's go to Lorbert's Pass because, you know, I can talk and play at the same time. Is this the bit that I thought it was gonna be? It might be, it might not be. I'm unsure actually whether it was Lost Wing that I'm thinking of. I feel like it might not be. Either way.
You all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
What's going on? Hello? That's an interesting conversation to walk into. Right, how do we get... It's not up that way, is it? We've got some quite dramatic music going on. This way... Up the steps and over, or...
If you're ready, we leave at once. Come, my children.
Oh, they're going to war, aren't they? Because we've done Quinton's side quest. They're getting ready to go out and do bits and pieces. Right, just before we continue on down this path then, this is the right path. Let's make sure that we've got abilities equipped and stuff. We've got Gouge, we've got Rook's Gambits, we've got Raging Fists and Lightning Rod, we've got Will of the Wikes and Heat Wave. We've got 4,208 thingy points. Thingy points, yes. Super clear there, Dema. What you are talking about. Great. Good master that. We've got actually a lot of things. Yeah, we've got fixes out, so that's great, it's learned. What's this upgrading to Raging Fists do? Because it's attack, I don't actually think that's all that useful. 23. I feel like I should spend some money on the ultimates. We tried Aerial Blast. I'm trying to we don't have that equipped. This is got a lot of damage. But again, it's going to have a long cooldown and very specific usage. I don't necessarily think it is as worth it. I like the block. I like the block. I feel like the block should be used. Right, I'm going to grab that. Oops, no, wait. What was it? Okay. I feel like what I'll do is I will upgrade all of the abilities that we have. I mean, we're going to get another... How many did we say? Did we say we've got 3 more? Yeah. So, Bahamut, Odin, and Shiva, I assume, are going to be the rest of our kit. That's going to kind of complete our Blue Mage mythos arsenal. You guys? Yes. Hello? Oh, it's Helena.
Oh,
is this going to be a
Sid.
difference?
Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there.
No, this is a different place.
Creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. I'll be right back.
Right back in a body bag, knowing my, skills. Yes, this isn't... Oh. This isn't the place that I was thinking of, I don't think. That looks like a trap on the floor there. Oh, an arrowman.
This must be our unwanted visitor.
Oh. Okay.
Time to go.
This is not what I was expecting at all. Oh. I'm just going to run straight into that. Right. Got to remember how to play, of course. Down. Nice. This guy's got some HP.
This one.
Ow.
I can't go on.
Oh! Shit. So apparently, I was in range of that. In case anybody was wondering, what happens when the Doom countdown goes off? You die. you just die. Should this be a surprise? No. Right, let's swap out Raging Fist for... I'm going to try that. That I want to keep. This doesn't seem to have any physical attacks. Possibly Heat Wave will do us fine. Haven't actually upgraded those, so I'll stay with that. Skip. Okay. Okay. Now I'm just going to charge straight into that. Get out. Uh-huh. Nope, don't stand in that. Okay, I think I need to press the triangle button again for a follow-up to that, don't I?
Too slow. Nice try.
I screwed that up by pressing the wrong button. Packing heat? Ho-ho! Ooh, that was really loud. Jesus Christ. I don't know what I did then. I need to watch that back. Some combination of things there just went.
Things I do for you, Mid.
Sid! Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the Hideaway.
Wonderful.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
Just before we do that... Eye of the Warrior. Increases strength, tonic duration. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I like the accessories system. I just feel that with only 3 slots, we have to be incredibly particular about which we want to use. No, this is definitely not the place that I was thinking of. Ooh, Desiree.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Is everything we've received and everything promised?
The bearer's plight. Few are those who would strive to lighten the burden borne by the crystals cursed. But if we are to survive the coming storm, we must stand together, bearer and brother, as you have shown us.
You earned this.
I did. High Cleric's Medallion for 715, so that's going to be a big old
Best of luck out there, Sid.
potion buff, isn't it? Oh, because the thing that I was thinking of was this. Fallen giant in the Rosarian ruins. That's what I was thinking of. It is a sad, sad state of affairs that the word mid has become part of the common vernacular in terms of mediocre. Although, to be honest, I think a lot of people just use mid as bad. Mid comes from middling, as in mediocre. At least I'm assuming so. I'm not young enough to be part of that kind of rapid evolution of language that the youth of today enact, or the youth have always enacted.
Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze.
Bit of a dangerous design, this, isn't it?
Shielding.
Yes.
A prison for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside.
Mm-hmm.
I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started.
Bottom of the briny.
I need something light. But I've wrapped my brains and I just
Adamantite.
can't think what to do it.
Myth
If I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know
Yes,
whose
tomes.
counsel I would seek. Hippocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Right away.
Why did she not?
I've been going round in circles trying to find something sturdy enough to withstand the fire of the engines, but light enough not to sink the ship. Should have bothered old Tome sooner. If anyone knows something I don't, it'll be him.
Why did she not go and see him herself? That's odd. I mean, it's possible just that they wanted us to have a third step in a 3-part quest because the rule of 3. But they've generally done a really good job of tying everything into lore reasons, and the reason why she wouldn't have got... I mean, it's not exactly a great distance, is it? from one end of this ship to the other. So why hasn't she talked to Hippocrates herself? Unless Hippocrates is going to tell us right now, which is also a possibility. Did he used to be her old teacher, or... I don't know. Hippocrates.
Hippocrates, do you have a moment?
For you, Clive, always.
Well, actually, it's for mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Thermal shelling design. A baffling diagram made all the more confounding by the preponderance of question marks that blemish its borders. Definitely got the FF14 flavor text teams to write this.
Shielding for a mithril engine. Whatever will that girl think of next? And what are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
You'd have thought she'd have come up with all this before putting the design together.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelisk complains that without a constant supply of... pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection it requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelisk might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of
an errand
how
quest.
to most effectively put to use with our two friends.
Okay.
The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
Oh. Straight into it. Oh. We're going to have a choice?
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
This could be a very interesting game.
Sure.
No.
Either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive.
Interesting. We get to spend a little more time with Tyre.
Shielding that guards against even the most ferocious flames. I could have done with some of that on Drustinus.
I doubt I would have survived that place with or without it. A trip to Northreach, though, I think either of us could handle.
Interesting that it makes us have a choice. Who should I take? Because I can't imagine we'll get opportunity to go anywhere with Tyre for anything otherwise.
So, Clive, have you made your decision?
But otherwise...
Who will accompany you on your little excursion?
Very well. So then, what do we need to find?
I have
taken
taken
chill
the
with
liberty
this.
of preparing a list.
Obviously.
White chocobo eggs. Pepio nuts. Are you sure this list is right? Everything on here seems very edible. I would have thought the ingredients would be a little more exotic.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited. Effects for which they were once highly prized.
This is a very
so
odd
much
quest.
So, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Is that so? I've been meaning to visit Northreach anyway. I'll set out now. Join me there when you're ready.
I will. Until then.
You two enjoy yourselves.
You too, Talia.
Yes, the choice thing is very interesting, and it makes me wonder. And I suppose we could do the stage replay thing, can't we? To maybe try the other. Right, mithril is a material of both passing hardness and luster, and it is these two qualities for which it is valued by the weapon and armor smiths of the realm. However, there is a third quality of mithril that sets it apart from steel or shell in its durance. While even the finest steel may be melted by dragon's fire, become brittle in frigid climes, or turn to rust if not regularly and rightly oiled, mithril is once made, eternally unchanging. In this volume, I will explain how one might go about making, shaping, and employing mithril in one's work. A mineral. So it's something that's put into metal, I guess? Somewhat odd. To the market! Where is Jill? She here?
Are those Pepio nuts? I can never tell.
Hello.
How goes the hunt for ingredients?
I've only just started. I'm sure everything we need is somewhere amongst all these stalls, though. Why don't we split up and see? We'll take a couple of ingredients each.
All right. What am I looking for?
How about you look for the Pepio nuts and some garlic? I'll find the other things we need. We can meet by the gate when we're finished.
You find the pepper nuts because I can't remember what they look like.
They sell everything here at the market. Finding garlic and Pepio nuts won't take long.
Mm-hmm.
You'll not find a bruised.
Well, somebody over here. What are you? Traveling trader.
Any friend of the innkeeper is a friend of mine.
Interesting.
I trust it's all here. I hope it's to your liking. I trust it's all
Get those
here.
whilst I'm here. And in fact, do we have any? Yeah, we got 4 grand's worth of sellables. I'm holding on to everything else because I never know if it's going to be used in anything.
What do you want?
I would like some Pepio nuts, please.
And thanks for nothing.
That's everything. Let's see how Jill's
Thanks
getting
for
on.
nothing. See, they've got some crystals. What are they? Oh, they're cooling the fish. Now, as soon as that crystal's worn out, or we destroy all the mother crystals, what happens then? They're going to need to develop refrigeration technology.
I did. Here.
Just like the little tassely things he's got.
Garlic and Pepio nuts. Perfect. Now, all that remains is for Harpocrates to somehow turn all this into what Mid needs to keep her engine cool.
Mm-hmm.
But before we head back, would you walk with me a while?
See, this is why I expected... This is why I took Jill, because I expected that we'd get, just like we did with Gav, a little bit of a chatty bits. Tuggle's eyeing the bread.
Thank you for asking me to help you today. It makes a nice change.
It does. It's good to get away from all the battle and bloodshed for once. Just being here reminds me of when we were
Because
children.
this would be a very different
Do you remember
conversation with Talia, isn't it?
walking down Market Street in Rosalith, taking in the sights and smells?
How could I forget? What with Torgal's antics. Remember how his nose would prick up at the scent of sausages? He'd go racing away and we'd have to go running after him. We wouldn't catch you now, would we, boy?
He was a good boy.
Was there anything you wanted to buy for yourself while we're here?
There was, yes. Well, sort of. Molly in the kitchens told me about a place that sells particularly good pies.
Particularly good
You
pies.
might like to share one with me.
I would love to.
Thank you.
Oh, how adorable!
And I saw some bread.
Which Torgal has already got his eye on.
Big white cobs like the baker back in Rosalith used to make. What do you think? I thought we might get some soup to dip it in. But then I tried a slice of the butcher's dry-cured ham and it was just... oh.
You all right?
Sorry. It's just... you're right. I really do feel like...
Of course, she wasn't with us when we came here last, was she?
Clive. Is it wrong of me to enjoy this?
What? A day out? No, not really.
No, Jill. This is how life should be. And it's how our lives will be when our work is finally done. When we can live on our own terms.
Foreshadowing.
I hope so.
More foreshadowing.
Thank you, Clive.
They're so cute. Ah, dear.
Well, I suppose we best be getting back. I need to give these ingredients to Harpocrates and Talia. I'll see you at the Hideaway.
Take care.
I will. You too.
I don't know if this is a well-written slow burn romance or very much a kind of bait and switch. Good boy. Goodest boy. Right, let's return to the Hideaway.
I wonder how Harpocrates is getting on with the moon dew.
I do. You and me both, Clive. You and me both.
I'm never drinking.
Welcome back. I hope you two had fun while I was busy helping Harpocrates.
You sound jaded, Talia. See, this is the problem. I would really like to know what she would have had the conversation with. But there's always New Game Plus.
Clive, Harpocrates has all the ingredients. We were just waiting for you.
Thanks. It's very kind.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Harpocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance.
You are very welcome.
I was just explaining to Talia how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients...
I mean, if it will stop Dragon's fire, then it should.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful
What are they
eyes
making it
Bardolph
of?
and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
That's handy.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary?
She seems to
Many
spend a lot of
hands
time
make
in the
light
infirmary,
work,
unfortunately.
Of course.
Oh, it's my arm that's so white and shiny. I don't know why it's so shiny.
Oh,
Oops,
and
let's just turn that off.
Clive, thank you. It was nice just being with you.
You only get that bit of conversation
It appears our work here is almost
when
at an
if you
end.
take Jill out.
A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other, followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting. of
Yes.
course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me.
Because she wouldn't think,
you, Hippocrates.
would she, to test and retest and... Letting off steam, number 3. Yeah, the titles of the quests, obviously it's all tied into this Steam engine that Mid is created, but also it's an opportunity for a change of pace and for the characters to let off steam, to have a little bit of a break.
Well, I better go and give Mid the good news then.
What are these chunky things? Right, let us report back to Mid.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid, but you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat, a coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
I'm useful like that.
Me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
She's so excited.
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Yes, those.
Same difference.
Yes.
Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
Okay. Where are we going to build it?
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is going to require some precision walloping.
Precision walloping. I feel like her mouth was supposed to animate then, but didn't. There's been a couple of moments where I feel like facial animations haven't quite worked fine. It's nothing major, because I'm listening to the voice lines more than... Sometime later. That thing there. Looks weird. Big ceramic chunks. Seems to all fit together.
It's finally finished.
Now, what are we going to do with it?
Fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Language of and the children.
Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
How are her gang in Canva going to even see this? It looks like it's just sloping off to the side.
She was building a ship.
Really? That's a ship. Let's sail it round the lake.
Yes, indeed.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the
We were going to
horizon
go and see
shores
Sid's
unknown.
grave, weren't we?
Searching
Wasn't
for
that the
land
original
pushed by
plan?
blight, just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the twins turned black, we might still have a chance.
Yes, is there elsewhere on the continent?
That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want her to be that. I don't want her to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate.
Oh, she was like a raft, an ark.
I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it.
same change of heart that her dad had.
But where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Still the errand boy.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans. I'm trusting in yours.
I assume we will use her to get to Ash.
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
It is.
He'd be proud of you.
He would.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
Yes.
I was. And you can come too now that your little project is finished.
Well, finished might be a strong word.
There's just one thing I need to finish up first.
Where have they buried Sid then?
Right.
One wonders.
I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
What a delightful but odd child. Oh, a new quest is available nearby. Ooh. Weird science. Okay.
All right, Clive. Asterix. We'd finished sending half the Hideaway traipsing across the twins, has she? I
Hopefully.
swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses.
Why?
now,
I wonder
though, eh?
why. I wonder
Not
why.
She said there was one final thing she had to take care of.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure she'll be finished soon
She's
enough.
ran off.
She said that in those words.
She did, yes.
Clive, were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch
Why
her.
is she running away from seeing her dad? Oh, but we are literally just going. Make for the foredock. Is this Obelus? It is. Has she taken Obelus's boat?
Obelus, have you seen Mid?
Yep. In a boat, going that way.
Then I'm too late.
You in a hurry and all, are you? Oh, I offered to take her across, but
I thought
she
you only
wouldn't
had the
wait.
one boat,
Just paid
Obelus.
for a dinghy and rowed off. Oars going like the clappers. Got some life.
Why
in
is
her,
she
ain't
running away from visiting her dad's
Anyway,
grave? Does she
I
see
was
herself
on
as a
my way up
disappointment?
to see you, as it happens.
Oh?
Got a letter for you. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Obelus.
Don't mention it.
Well, I have. A letter.
What tidings, Uncle?
My dear boy, my journey to Canva has been a resounding success. The friend I mentioned not only agreed to share the contents of his strongbox with us, but has considerable knowledge of the goings-on in the Free Cities, by which I learned of the endeavours of a certain young friend of yours. Though I for one believe Miss Tellerman's project to be quite the valiant enterprise, I doubt the Canverian authorities will take kindly to the unauthorised use of their dockyards, no matter how deserted, and if rumours already reached my friend, it may not be long before the guildmasters are rapping at our door, which is why I pen you this note. I would like to borrow your man Gav for a moon or two, that he might keep a watch on those who might mean our little fellowship ill and warn us of any impending attack. I trust that you will give this proposal your full consideration. Your loving uncle, Byron. So, Mid's use of the dockyards, not actually legal. Am I surprised? No.
Trouble in Canva. Well, I'll need someone to keep an eye on Mid.
Gav.
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sunset?
It seems that way.
Yes, but it's not like we can very quickly transport the giant
Next time you plan on
engine thing.
you might want to tie her to something before you suggest it.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Got to admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in and all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place.
Turn a phrase, Gav.
You're right.
Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me personally.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
That's what he does.
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards.
Right. Oh, the grave is at the old hideaway.
She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least.
What could Jill be taking care of? That's mysterious, isn't it? Oh. Ah, I see. It is different. When we first had this new hideaway, because it's in, the same area, I thought it had kind of just replaced it, because it hasn't. This is the dust long settled, little remains of the once bustling refuge many called home. We're still a lot here. So we continue. Sid's Legacy, Central Storm. Ah. Blackthorn's hammer?
Well, Sid, I remember what you told me. But if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it.
Which is exactly why I'm talking to you now.
But I will say this, old friend.
Mm-hmm.
Hugo Cooker is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in two places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead.
Flames of rebirth.
Life has a beginning and an end.
Foreshadowing.
So we must live while we have the chance.
More foreshadowing.
And not as slaves to the crystal.
Like I said, this is a tragedy, so it's...
But as free men.
May we join you?
Utes! Karen! And Jill, obviously.
Lady Karen, what a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies.
I feel like she actually does a lot of travelling off screen. Trust Jill to make Chloe's flower look more like a proper arrangement. That's somewhat foreboding, isn't it?
It wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
Deadlands.
I know. The blight marches on. And soon, there will be no escaping sights like these.
Yes.
So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them.
Assuming Sid was
The only
right.
one that remains in Storm is Drake's tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you, but we do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
Yes,
We
Gav.
would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Good.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go with them? Oh, thanks, Nan.
Stop that! You'll break me bones, you great galoot. There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklad markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goot.
Okay then. I'll get me things and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav,
Already on my way, Captain.
be careful.
Aren't I always?
Gav's gonna die. I'm such a pessimist, but yeah, the precedent has been set. Goots is very, very cool.
Do you see that, Sid? Your protégé's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
Goots' little happy song. They are doing very well with the balance of levity and seriousness that something like this requires, essentially. Still story locked. Latney's Cleft, Eastern Dalmatia. So connected to a chunk of the map that we haven't got to. I mean, this is a fairly large area. We've only seen what? Less than half? 2/5. 2/5. Let's go to Latney's Cleft and see how quickly this is all going to go very wrong. Eastern Dalmatia. Handily, an obelisk. Goodies boy. Onward. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.